Hi there, it's good to be here again to serve you with this week's edition of the weekly Premium Times podcast. Titi Lokwe Fadari is your host. Is President Muhammadu Buhari ready to fight corruption? The events of the past few days provide clearest evidence that the president is not ready to fight the rampant government corruption. After consulting with members of the National Council of State, Mr. Buhari has granted a state pardon to former Plateau State Governor Joshua Dariye and Jolly Yemi, the former governor of Taraba State. The two former governors were convicted for stealing a cumulative 3 billion naira public funds. And President Muhammadu Buhari, who likes Nigerians to believe he is incorruptible, said he pardoned them on health and age grounds. The citizens are asking so many questions. One of them is, where is the encouragement to investigate and prosecute corrupt public officials when they will still get pardoned? That's pushing all limits. That's Nigeria under Buhari. In other news, the National Assembly has approved 4 trillion naira to fund fuel subsidy in 2022. The new figure is an increase of 3.5 trillion naira from the 442.7 billion naira that was earlier projected for by President Buhari. The president said he needed to make some imperative adjustments to the 2022 fiscal framework. Some of the lawmakers opposed Mr. Buhari's request, but they couldn't stop the approval. Senator Betty Apiafi is among those that asked the Senate not to approve the president's request. She said the request spells doom for the Nigerian economy. But the Lawan-led Senate has a history of not rejecting any request from Buhari. By the way, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has declared his intention to run for the office of the president in 2023. Mr. Amaechi made his declaration after running around a stadium in Rivers State. The former governor of Rivers State said it was to show fitness for the top job. Some people say it was a challenge to other aspirants that anybody contesting for the presidency should be able to run around a stadium to test his physical strength. And 2 days later, after Mr. Amaechi's declaration, the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo joined the race to succeed his principal, President Buhari. The Vice President, who hails from Ogun State, said he wants to complete what Buhari's led administration has started. Among other things, he promised to radically transform our security and intelligence architecture and also complete the promise of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within this decade. Meanwhile, the untimely death of famous gospel musician Osinachi Nwachukwu has left so many people heartbroken. The circumstances of her death are even more worrying. The singer's close friends and associates said her violent marriage led to her untimely death. One of her colleagues alleged that the late singer had an abusive husband who regularly brutalized her before she died. She was a lead singer at the Dunamis International Gospel Center. As usual, this edition was written by Kabir Yusuf. I am Titi Lokwe Fadari. See you next week, and do not forget, if you like this podcast, please share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.